The contested world of Varnath Prime bore the scars of a decade-long war between the Terran Coalition and the Korathi Empire. Cities reduced to rubble, forests burned to ash, populations decimated. The ceasefire was fragile, maintained by mutual exhaustion rather than genuine peace. Lieutenant Marcus Webb, a human combat medic, was assigned to a ceasefire enforcement station monitoring the neutral zone. 3 years in this war had left him bone-deep exhausted, but he continued because someone had to help put pieces back together. The Korathi were a proud warrior species, 8 feet tall, naturally armored, their culture built around martial honor and clan loyalty. They viewed the ceasefire not as peace but as temporary pause in hostilities. During a routine patrol through a bombed-out settlement, Marcus heard commotion, roaring in Korathi, the sound of structures being destroyed. He approached cautiously and found a massive Korathi warrior systematically destroying what remained of a human field hospital. The warrior's armor was scarred, one arm hanging useless, movements carrying the erratic energy of someone pushed past rational thought. Around the destroyed hospital lay Korathi civilian casualties, bodies brought here for treatment but died anyway. The warrior turned his attention to Marcus, predatory focus locking onto the coalition insignia. Your kind did this. Your bombs killed my clan. Your weapons destroyed my family. Your war took everything from me. He advanced despite his injuries. Marcus didn't run, didn't reach for his weapon. The warrior was clearly dying, operating on adrenaline and rage. Marcus stood his ground and responded quietly, "I'm sorry for your loss." The simplicity seemed to enrage the warrior further. He closed the distance, grabbed Marcus by his uniform, lifting him off his feet with terrifying ease. "Sorry? You think words matter? You think sorry brings them back? I'll kill you, human, if you don't kneel. Kneel and beg for your life like the weak thing you are. Show me your species' cowardice before you die." Suspended in the air, Marcus should have been terrified. Instead, he did something unexpected. He smiled. Not mockingly, but with genuine, sad compassion. "I won't kneel," Marcus said quietly, meeting the warrior's eyes. "And I won't beg, not because I'm not afraid, I am, but because neither of those things would actually help you." The warrior's grip tightened. "You dare refuse. You mock me with that smile while I hold your life in my hand." "I'm not mocking you. I'm smiling because I understand something about you. You don't actually want to kill me. You want your family back. You want the war to not have happened. You want to undo every loss you've suffered. And since you can't have any of that, you want someone to hurt as much as you're hurting." The warrior trembled with rage or grief or both. "You know nothing about what I want. I know you brought your clan members here for treatment," Marcus said, gesturing toward the destroyed hospital. "You brought them to a human medical facility because you hoped we could save them when your own medics couldn't. That doesn't sound like someone who sees all humans as enemies." The words hit harder than any physical blow. The warrior's grip loosened slightly. "They died anyway. Your medicine failed." "Yes," Marcus agreed simply. "We did. Medicine has limits. We can't always save everyone, no matter how much we want to. I'm guessing whoever treated your clan members fought hard to keep them alive, used everything we had, and it still wasn't enough. And I'm truly sorry about that." The warrior's trembling intensified. "Then you admit your weakness. Why shouldn't I kill you for that failure?" "Because killing me won't bring them back. It won't undo the war or heal your wounds, the physical ones or the other kind. It'll just add one more death to the thousands that have already happened, and tomorrow you'll still wake up with the same grief and one more thing to regret." The warrior's legs gave out. He dropped to his knees, still holding Marcus but no longer with lethal intent. Up close, Marcus could see the injuries clearly. The nearly severed arm, blood seeping from armor breaks, labored breathing suggesting internal damage. "You should be running," the warrior said, voice losing its rage. "Why do you just accept this?" Marcus reached up slowly and placed his hand on the warrior's massive fist. "Because you're hurt, because you've lost people you loved. Because you're dying and you're scared and angry and grieving, and adding violence to that won't help either of us. And because maybe, just maybe, if I show you that not every human sees you as just an enemy, it'll matter. The warrior stared for a long moment, then released him entirely. Marcus dropped to the ground. The Korathi slumped back, sitting among the rubble, injuries finally overwhelming adrenaline. What is your name, human? Marcus Webb, combat medic. I am Cavros of the Red Stone clan, or I was before the war took everything. He looked at his mangled arm. Before the war took my clan. Marcus slowly approached and knelt beside Cavros. Will you let me look at your injuries? You're bleeding badly, and some of that damage might be treatable. Cavros laughed bitterly. You would heal the one who threatened to kill you. That's what medics do. We treat whoever needs treatment. Enemy, ally, doesn't matter. You're hurt. I can help. So I will if you'll let me. Genuine confusion crossed Cavros's face. Your kind is strange. Showing mercy to one who threatened you is seen as weakness in Korathi culture. Marcus began examining the worst injuries. In human culture, there's this concept called grace, giving something good to someone who hasn't earned it, not because they deserve it, but because it's the right thing to do. You threatened me, destroyed equipment, caused harm. But you're also clearly suffering, and I have the skills to ease that suffering. So I choose grace. As Marcus worked, applying coagulants, stabilizing the arm, administering pain medication, Cavros watched with wonder. Why did you smile? When I threatened to kill you, you smiled. I don't understand. Marcus paused. I smiled because in that moment I understood you. I've been where you are, holding onto rage because it's easier than facing grief. After a particularly bad battle, I lost my entire medical unit. 15 people gone in seconds, and I was so angry. He returned to bandaging. But I had a friend who found me planning something stupid and violent. She just sat with me, didn't tell me I was wrong to be angry, just acknowledged the pain and stayed present with it. That taught me how we heal, not by adding more violence, but by having someone witness our pain without judgment. Cavros was silent. The ones who died here, my clan members, they were younglings, children. The war came to our settlement without warning. I brought them here in desperation. Your medics worked through the night trying to save them. And they died anyway, and I lost myself to rage. Marcus's hand stilled. I'm sorry, truly. Children shouldn't pay for the mistakes of adults. He finished treatment. These injuries need proper surgical intervention, things I don't have in a field kit. But I've stabilized you enough that if we can get you to a medical facility, you'll survive. Why save me? I destroyed your equipment, threatened your life. Marcus stood, offering his hand. Because we've both lost too much to this war already. Because adding your death doesn't help anyone. Because maybe, just maybe, if I show you that humans can choose mercy and you survive to remember it, that'll matter somehow. Maybe you'll tell someone about the human medic who treated you. Maybe that story will reach one person who's about to do something violent and make them pause. Maybe it won't change anything, but I have to try. Cavros stared at the offered hand, then slowly took it. With Marcus's help, he managed to stand. I cannot walk far. The injuries are extensive. I can call for medical evacuation. It'll be a human transport, but I can ensure they know you're a non-combatant receiving humanitarian aid. Cavros nodded slowly. I would accept this, and Marcus Webb, I owe you a debt. Among my people, such debt is sacred. You saved my life when I sought to take yours. You showed me grace when I showed you violence. This will not be forgotten. As they waited for the evacuation transport, the two warriors shared the kind of silence combat veterans recognize, where words aren't necessary. The transport arrived. Cavros was loaded carefully aboard. Before the shuttle departed, he caught Marcus's eye. You gave me answer I didn't expect, that some things matter more than revenge. I will remember this. And when I return to my people, I will tell them about the human who smiled in the face of death and chose mercy over fear. The story spread through both military and civilian networks. The human medic who smiled when threatened, chose treatment over capture. Reactions were mixed, but the story also reached Korathi communities, challenging assumptions both species had built. 3 weeks later, Marcus received a formal message from Korathi territory, bearing the Red Stone clan seal. From Cavros, now recovered, Marcus Webb, you asked me to remember that not all humans are enemies, I remember. And I work now to help my people remember also. Grace is not weakness. This truth you taught me. But months later, during peace negotiations formally ending the war, Cavros stood among the Korathi delegation as advisor to clan leaders. He caught sight of Marcus, and they exchanged a nod of recognition. After the session, Cavros approached privately. I told my leaders about you, about the human who smiled and chose mercy. The story spread through warrior clans, made some question whether humans are truly irredeemable enemies. It didn't stop the war. One act of compassion can't undo years of conflict, but it planted seeds of doubt about our hatred, and doubt is where change begins. Marcus smiled the same steady smile. I'm glad you survived, Cavros. And I'm glad the story mattered. Cavros nodded. Among my people there is now a phrase, the smile of Marcus Webb. It refers to choosing mercy when violence would be easier, offering healing when harm would be simpler. You have become a teaching story. I didn't do it to become a story. I did it because a person was suffering and I could help, that's all. That humility is why the story matters. You taught us that perhaps humans and Korathi are not so different in our capacity for both violence and compassion. Now, we must work to build on that understanding. They stood together, two warriors from opposite sides of a brutal war, connected by a moment when death was defied not through strength, but through refusing to participate in the cycle of violence. As peace negotiations continued, Marcus returned to his medical duties, carrying knowledge that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a gun but a smile offered to